What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and if you're new to the channel, my name is Mike, and today I'm going to be showing you guys something really cool and easy to do. We're going to be taking this pair of worn out triple clamps and making it look like a factory setup. I'm really excited to start this project, so the first thing I'm going to do is scrub these things down. They're absolutely filthy, get all that grease off, and then I'll be ready to remove that lower bearing.
Drum keys on the beat.
Well, I got these cleaned up a little bit, and I'm not too worried about what's left on there because I'm gonna be sending it through the sandblaster later anyways. And this one is gonna be ready to go for that. But we gotta remove this lower bearing, which I have never done before. I picked up this large flat blade screwdriver and a couple chisels to help me knock that off. They do make an actual tool to remove this lower bearing, but it's like over $100 or something crazy, so gonna give it a go with these, and I think we're gonna be able to get it done. And if you guys didn't see the last video or are curious how hard it is to take apart a 4-stroke engine, I'll leave it linked in the description at the end of this video. I'm actually looking for 2 new engine cases for a 2014 YZ450F, and it's the same cases from 14 to 16. I'm looking for a used set. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to buy them new. So drop a comment below if you know where I can find these cases. All right, let's go ahead and throw this thing in the vise and start knocking. I'm just gonna lay this triple clamp over and try to wedge the screwdriver in between the clamp and the bearing until I get enough space in there that I can get a larger chisel and start knocking it off. Okay, I gotta pause it right now. This is not the correct way to remove the lower steering stem bearing. And there's a lot of reasons. Mostly you're probably just gonna beat up the steering stem. You could nick it with the chisel. Some people are gonna try to cut it off with a grinder, which is what I was about to do next. But I looked online, and I'll show you guys later in the video the correct way to remove it using a press. But I'll just leave this next part of me trying to get it off with the chisels in so you guys can see an epic fail. Let's give it a go. Okay, well that did not go as planned. I just ended up breaking off the outside of the bearing, but now I should be able to get a good little hit on this lip right here and hopefully knock this thing off. Well, this just did not work. I was not able to knock this race off. It's completely stuck on there, just like everything else was on the bike. I'm gonna be doing it correct now. I'm gonna take this over to JAX Moto, and we're gonna use a press to push this steering stem out of the clamp. So not only is it correct, but it's the safest way to remove this bearing without damaging the steering stem, cracking it, chipping it. And we're back. So the plan is we're gonna be pressing out the stem, pushing the bearing up and the stem straight out of the clamp. After seeing so many people try to chisel and grind this off, I'm just not gonna do it. And from reading online, this is what everyone says is the best way, especially if you're gonna powder coat the clamp. We got it out. Man, this sucker was rusted in there, totally frozen. But we got it cranked out using this press. Sometimes you just gotta crank it. And now this triple clamp is ready to be sandblasted. Also, if anyone is looking for an enduro, this is the place to come. Got you covered. I'm gonna be taping off the inside of these clamps and also where the stem goes through, because powder coat will add some thickness to the part and you don't want it inside here where the forks go or the stem. And I'm also going to be taping off the threads as well. I also forgot I wanted to remove the cast line on these triple clamps, so I'm going to be using a file and some emery cloth to get this smoothed out and give it a clean look. I've been working on this lower clamp for about 15 minutes and it's a lot better. Still can feel the cast line a little bit, but I think I'm just gonna give it another 15 minutes and it should be totally smooth. And this one's gonna be really easy. It barely has any cast line on it, so I already started right here and it feels completely smooth. So once I paint these, they're gonna look super nice. I think this is about as good as it's gonna get. There's still a slight cast line, but I really don't want to grind off too much more of this triple clamp. And I think once we sandblast it and paint it, it's gonna look amazing. I have both of the triple clamps marked off where the stem goes through because I don't want to blast in there and I don't want it powder coated either. And obviously I'm not going to powder coat in here, but I'm just going to run it through the sandblast and be careful not to hit this area. Should be okay. And actually these are going to be the largest pieces that I have ever sandblasted, so we will see how this thing does. Also, it has quite a thick layer of paint on here, so really gonna see if this sandblaster rips it off or not. All right, boys, we got this other lower triple clamp finished up, so time to take a break, and I'm actually gonna go grab myself a beer, gonna do a shotgun, and after that, we're gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna explain later. Okay, I'm back. Got a nice Tecate right here. We hit 20,000 subscribers today, Thursday, the best Thursday of my life, on August 1st. I'm gonna have a moment. I'm gonna do this shotgun right now. And real talk, I just did one. And I didn't have the microphone on for any of this, but that's besides the point. Just might do this one a little bit slower. But we're gonna do them back to back. You know your boy ain't no little girl. That one was real warm. Tasted just as good though. If you guys been following the channel since way back, you would know I used to take a shotgun every 100 subscribers, and then every 1,000 subscribers we did a drinking challenge on the channel. But after 10K, for reasons I'm sure you can understand, we had to call that quits. But I thought for 20K it'd be nice to shotgun a beer with you guys. And about the giveaway. So the other day, I decided to try to powder coat something for the first time. Here it is, guys. This beautiful YZ450 brake pedal. And you guys, this thing sparkles like it's crazy in the sunlight. But I want to give this away to one of you guys. And I would prefer if it's somebody who has a YZ or knows a guy who's got a YZ, at least they can give it to. So hop on over to my Instagram, I'll put it right here, it's FILMZ, and check out how you can win this brake lever. That's enough dicking around though, I'll get back to work. This clamp has been totally taped off and plugged up, and my God, did this take a long time. I want to say at least 45 minutes, but I got a lot better at learning how to tape off these edges, and I did a super clean job, so this is going to come out looking awesome. So now I'm just going to hang it up on the rack and run it for a gas out before I powder coat. This lower clamp is done with the gas out, and now I'm just gonna hit it quickly with this Eastwood paint prep, and then it'll be ready to go. Real quick, I'm gonna show you guys what I'm using for the powder coat. I got all my powder from Prismatic Powders, and laying down a base coat first, I'm gonna be using this Alien Silver. It's not quite a chrome, but it has a lot of metal sparkle in it, which I like. And then on top of that, I'm laying this Pika Blue. So it's a really nice blue. It actually comes out a little bit dark. And on top of this Alien Silver, it has a ton of metal flake. This is what the brake pedal looks like done. And in the sunlight, it's a lot brighter and it really pops. So at this point, super important that you don't touch the part, use gloves. And like I said, we're gonna prep it, get to it. The gun is set up and ready to go, full of powder. And I got one more little tip I want to share with you guys. So if you put this aluminum foil on the edges, it'll keep the powder from sticking to the rack. And that way when you put it in the oven, it won't bake onto the rack and the rack won't stick in the oven. Because I had that happen the first time I tried powder coating. And this will be my second time powder coating anything, so I'm a little bit nervous still, but we're gonna go for it.
Lavito on the beat.
Alright, I'm about to pull that part out. It's almost done and it's looking beautiful. But I gotta run over and see my doctor right now. I had a surgery on my ACL 2 months ago, so I'm doing a checkup for that. Hopefully hear some good news. And while I do that, I'm gonna be taking this lower clamp back with me to JAX and we're gonna put the steering stem back into it. I also got some new parts from Rocky Mountain, including the new bearings for this, so check out what I got. This is another Tusk tool. Excited to use that. Got some engine bling right here. Here's the new bearings for the steering stem. And I picked up these fork shoes from a service, so we're gonna see how those look.
Lavito on the beat.
so close to being done with this project. All I need to do is install this lower bearing onto the steering stem. And I have this new tool from Tusk that will help me install it correctly, and it should be really easy. I'll be putting a large socket, this is a 28, underneath the steering stem, and then we'll be putting the bearing on. We're gonna be using this collet to match up to the inner race, and then we'll be able to hammer the bearing on using this and a hammer. This bearing and race kit from Tusk came with 2 different size bearings. So this one that says 21, it has a larger inner diameter, and that's the one we're gonna be putting on the bottom. The top one says 13. They gave me 3 seals, but I'm only gonna need this one, and this one goes on the top bearing. I'm gonna put a little grease on the inside of the bearing and around the stem before I hammer it on. Happy to be done with this video. It took me way too long to do, but I'm really glad that I did it and that I powder coated, because I wasn't sure if you could powder coat these triple clamps. Everybody is Cerakoting them right now, but it worked out great. You guys saw they look ridiculous, man. In the sunlight, it just pops, sparkles like crazy, and in person it's way more, I gotta tell you guys. I even messed up on this top clamp and forgot to tape off the insides, but after I powder coated, I hit it with some emery cloth and it's super smooth. You can't even feel that there's any difference here. So the fork should slide in no problem. And because taping it takes so much time, it's about the same as sanding it. So in the future, I might just powder coat inside and sand it out again. And check this out. I'm gonna be Cerakoting the handlebar mounts in black. So on top of the blue, it's gonna look awesome. So mad respect if you guys made it this far into the video. And I'm gonna talk about this giveaway real quick. So here it is again. This is the YZ brake lever that I'm gonna be giving away. I'm pretty sure it fits a YZ450, probably 250, and all the 2-strokes as well, the 125 and 250 2-strokes. So I'll send this to anybody, anywhere, but what you gotta do is you gotta go over to my Instagram at FILMZ and check out the most recent post about how you can win it over there. And then in the next YouTube video, I will be announcing who was the winner. We're really starting to make some progress with the build. I would say we're about halfway from the assembly of the bike, and we might be doing the forks in the next video. That's all I got. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already, and get subscribed to the channel because we got big videos coming after this, guys. Just wait till we start rebuilding this engine. It's gonna be sick. Peace out, y'all.